Hey, what's going on, guys? So today's gonna be a little bit different. We're going to be mixing up some fish food flakes into these containers here. So I have two different containers that I have for my fish. One is more of a tropical, where it's kind of all-in-one, and the other one is more veggie based for my plecos and certain fish that really thrives on more veggie stuff. So I have a bunch of bulk Ken's fish flakes that I normally mix in here. So I typically go with the tropical flakes. It has everything. It's cheap, it's nice. You can buy them in different bulks, sizes and whatnot. And I typically put that into the all-in-one. Along with the all-in-one, I'll mix in a couple things that if I'm specifically targeting. For example, I have a lot more angelfish that will eat this food, so I would have some angelfish food. This is like angelfish / discus flakes that will go into here as well. Then on top of that, I'll mix in spirulina depending on what's needed. I'll have some immune boosters in here if I decide that that week or that month we'll need some. And then for certain like picky fish, I'll have a smaller container. These are bigger. I'll have a smaller container that I'll mix specific food in to try to get a good combination of different things to see if they'll eat it or not. For example, I did a combination of for example, like this here, plankton krill, spirulina for like the regal angelfish to eat, and it took a couple tries, but it did eat some of the things that I kind of mixed up together, and then eventually I transitioned from there to something more easy. So yeah, so we have a bunch of things here, and I'm going to just mix things in here. All right, so we'll start with the veggie ones just because I have the veggie things kind of open here already. So let's go ahead and grab some veggie stuff okay, here we go. This bag's already open. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump the rest of this spirulina flakes into here. And generally I don't dump the whole bag into here. I'll do ratios. For example, I'll do like a fourth of whatever and a fourth of whatever, but because I already used most of this bag here, I just dumped the rest of it in there. So, all right, so we got spirulina in there. And then we're going to do some vitamin boosters. This is just very little, so I'm gonna dump the rest of it in here. This will help with the immune system as well. So I only have a little bit of this, so I'm just gonna dump the rest of that in here. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, why not just buy, a jar of fish food? Yes, you can definitely buy it, but when you have a fish room, with a lot of fish, you kind of want to save money where you can. And fish food, obviously, fish needs to eat, and it's one of the most costly things in the hobby is going to be your fish food, and good quality fish food, right? So I like to mix my own, like I said, so that I know what I'm feeding my fish, and also I can target certain things. And then the rest here is immune booster. I'm going to put half of this because I want to put the other half into the tropical one for the other fish. So half of there is here, and then I'm going to open this other one here as well. I'm going to target. This one's going to be mainly for the rest of the fish. I will also feed my plecos, both of them a mix, but more heavily on the veggie side. So we'll put the rest of this in here. And each of these containers will probably last me about 6 months or so, depending on how much I feed. So it lasts pretty long. And this one's interesting here. This is a spirulina and garlic mix, so it's actually pretty good for the fish. So I'm going to put a little bit of this into here. Made a little bit of mess, but that's okay. Put a little bit into here. And then for the rest of the veggies, since I don't really have anything else, I'm going to put the rest of this new bag of spirulina in here and just kind of mix it up. If you guys were wondering the price of this is about a 4th pound of, you know, flakes here, and this runs about like maybe $4 or $5 depending on which things you get here. So each of these bags are about $4 to $5 each, and you know, some of these are actually like half a pound. For example, this is like half a pound, this is a half a pound, and it runs around like $5. So it will last you a while. Okay, so before we close this, I'm going to go down here and just mix everything up to try to get a nice even mixture of this, you know, heavily on the spirulina, which is fine. And there's like a pocket of that vitamin booster down here that I want to try to mix in. Right. There we go. So that is all set for the plecos there. So I'm gonna put this back in here. I'm gonna close this, and this is done. All right, so the last thing is the tropical. It's pretty easy. I'm just going to toss in this whole bag of already mixed tropical along with this other bag here. And we'll mix it together nice. And that's it pretty much for the tropical. It's pretty easy for this one. We already, like I said, put in some other stuff that we wanted in here. Immune booster, plus spirulina. And then this one will be just the tropical. And for the angelfish food here, I'll just make a small jar of this here. I won't make a big container just because it's only one tank. We'll do half. We'll do half of this bag. That's a lot. That's a lot of flakes. Okay. And I'll mix it right now so that we don't have it too. We'll do the rest, half of the bag here of this. All right, let's mix the last jar here. It's not to the top, and that's fine because I want to mix this evenly, and then we'll top it off. Here are the little jars that I was telling you guys about where I'll mix certain things in here, but for example, these are just my wafers, but I'll just throw them in here if I was making smaller portions instead of like these bigger ones here. But yeah, I'll just keep them in these like tiny ones. So yeah, we were running kind of low on fish food anyway, so I just decided to film this little process. I mean, it's not much, but yeah, it does add up. I do buy in bulk so that I can save money. But I also do experiment on different things other than flakes as well, which are like sticks here. And I kind of go through kind of a variety of them as well, just to kind of give the fish different, you know, textures, different things that they can try. And I've gone through actually a lot of different brands and different things, and for whatever reason, Ken's Fish Flakes has been consistent for me. The fish loves it, and I just keep coming back. I mean, I've tried, you know, dozens, hundreds of brand names, and for whatever reason, they love it. I just keep coming back to getting more and more. And then I always like to try different things. Like this is actually new to me. It is a fly larvae stick. So this is something new. So maybe, you know, some of the plecos that are more carnivorous will like this. Maybe some of the angelfish maybe will like this as well. But yeah, that's just a quick video of me just throwing some fish food together. But I'm kind of interested in seeing what you guys feed your fish. I know that a lot of people are really specific and they're brand driven, where they'll just only feed them a specific type of fish food. And yeah, I agree. There's certain ones that I just keep going back to, and this is one of them. I go to a lot of other ones, like for example, like Hikari. I always go to Hikari for any wafers, like algae wafers or anything that is like that. So like for example, this is a marine version of the wafers, but you know, these guys love it, and I keep going back to this, you know. So yeah, it's just certain brands, they do well in certain things. So yeah, I'm just kind of interested to see what you guys feed your fish and what things you guys use and what brands you use. Leave in the comments below. If you guys are subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe. And like always, until next time, guys, peace.